Hello, everybody, and I'm here to say, if you are a kid, stay the fuck away. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Read of Lyre. I'm your host, Will, and this is Pikamain. Thank you,
Hi.
Pikamain. You're welcome, Pikamain. And May as well. It's been so long that you forgot how my intro goes, didn't you? Pikamain?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything that I just said?
Yeah.
Then can you answer?
Yeah.
Then please do. Okay. Well, last episode, Richter is locked in jail, so therefore we went to his boyfriend, and now we're going to his nemesis. Great, fantastic, joyful even. I definitely love this part. Boom. Yay. Great. We have to follow the bitch. Tasty. The rest of the day moves by dreadfully slow. Roger sits on his father's throne, stiff and uncomfortable. He knows that he belongs here, but it doesn't feel right. It's been his destiny since he was born, but achieving it in this way was not how he wanted it. He looks around the room, his eyes dancing around at the people that fill it. Leaves softly fall down from the overgrown trees above to land among the crowd. Some of them he recognizes from the village, business owners and shopkeepers. Some of them are wealthy traders. Everyone else is just noble lords and ladies from the rest of Lyre. Their extravagant designs on their clothes construct the muted color scheme that seems to be so popular with this part of the land. The crafty feline from Lyre sticks out like a sore thumb amongst the crowd in his bright green coat. It's not hard to, though. Almost more than half the room is empty by now. Nobles came up to the throne, one by one, and wished him a long and prosperous rule, shaking his hand and bowing. He'd say he enjoyed this little bit of social interaction, but right now that's the last thing he wants. The amount of emotions he's been keeping bottled up these past 2 days have been taking a toll on him. Right now, he just wishes he could be alone. To his right is Elizabeth. She's leaning against one of the walls, arms down by her side with a dull expression on her face. Even Adrius could never understand why she always looks so bored with everything. She notices him glancing in her direction and approaches.
Something wrong.
Isn't it obvious?
Adrius.
She somehow managed to throw him a look of both understanding and irritation at the same time. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I know you've been through a lot lately.
It's not that. I'm just tired of being surrounded by all these people. He leans towards her. Forgive me, but I'm not in the best state of mind right now.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand that these things can be a bit emotionally draining. If you want, I can take over from here. Almost everyone is gone now, and the after party will start in a bit. It's best you go and prepare for that.
That's true. He adjusts the crown on his head. It was professionally fitted for him, but it's still a bit big. I suppose I could let you take over. But I don't think there's really much to do from here. If I were to stay, it would probably just be me sitting here watching as everyone talks with each other. He stands from his throne and rests his hand on the armrest. I know that your position as a war minister is being tested right now. The future isn't looking too bright, but in order to achieve my dream, we'll need to play it smart.
Of course. I'll offer my advice wherever I can.
Sometimes Adrius wonders why his father even had an advisor. To him, it seems like he treated everyone like a consultant. Your advice is welcome. At least I'll have someone older than myself for an advisor.
Yes, I suppose.
That is something that always bothered me about Father.
What's that?
I mean no offense by this. Why did he choose you as an advisor? Given it's usually standard to have someone much older than oneself advise you on these matters. She at first seems confused, but then equips that smirk she always has.
Your father never saw it that way. He once told me that wisdom and age aren't everything. He valued the youth of our generation. Said that their outlook on life and untainted experiences were what this world needed in order to achieve a brighter future. All of that, along with a king who chose to listen to the right people.
Adria stops a leaf on the ground with his hoof while listening to Elizabeth. She leans forward, looking into his eyes with her hands behind her back as if to get his attention.
He believed that advice could be found anywhere. Trust me, growing up, he had plenty of old and wise men and women teaching him everything he knew. But as he got older, he searched for a different point of view, choosing people he trusted to lead a good example, whether young or old.
As she says this, Adrius glares out into the crowd and spots Lyre. He's talking with another wolf, a local baker from the looks of it. They finish their conversation and Lyle heads out into the hall. Adrius steps away from the throne, still looking at Lyle. Not everyone has.
Adrius, please don't.
I just want to talk to him. He snaps his fingers, signaling the two guards standing by the side door to follow him. They quickly rise from their slumped-over positions and follow behind him. Adrius walks down the steps and heads straight down the long green carpet, while stepping out of his way and bowing. He pays them no attention, his eyes trained on that bastard as if he had tunnel vision. Ever since that night, he's been waiting to confront him alone. Lyle's been sulking about ever since, as if it was his father that was murdered. Oh, yes, he must be so conflicted. Adrius exits the throne room and turns the corner, looking down the hall. Spots Lyle moseying down the corridor. His tail is swishing left and right in an almost rhythmic way, causing his cape to flutter side to side. He's not going in the direction of his room, though.
Dog!
He sumps his shoulders
Damn.
and turns around slowly with a look of annoyance.
King Ardris? How many times must I beg you not to call me that?
That's what dogs do, though, right? They beg.
Jesus!
The guards stand behind Adrius now, their faces expressionless and their gaze straight ahead.
Suppose. Anyway, what do you want?
He says this with a tone of indignation. Adrius fiddles with his shoulder cape as he speaks. Oh, it's nothing. I just wanted to speak with you about everything that's happened, personally. These past few days have been rather busy. Lyle straightens himself out a bit.
Yes, they have. I'm really sorry about what happened. To lose one's father is truly a terrible thing.
I could not roll my eyes harder.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Adrius grips his shoulder cape a bit tighter in his fist. He's been hearing several different variations of that phrase all week. None of them have felt genuine except for his, which irks him the most. Yes, thank you for your kind words. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Lyle slumps down a bit more. His shoulders are as low as they can be. Yes, I'm sure you saw this coming, but I wanted to talk about your assignment. Guarding the traitor and all that. He jumps at the statement.
He didn't do it.
Yes, yes, I know that you believe with all your heart that he wasn't the one to do it. But can't you see that he's lying to you? Lyre is silent, glaring at him with those woven eyes.
You wouldn't lie to me.
Really? How do you know that? He goes to speak, hesitates, then continues.
Because I know him. I think you at least.
Oh! Of course. Argios rolls his eyes at this notion. You silly dog. I barely know him and I'm assuming the worst about him with strong evidence. You've only known him for, let's be generous and say a month. And yet you act like you know him enough to assume he's perfectly innocent. Those two don't really seem comparable, do they? Lyle's lip quivers a bit before making an irritated expression. He quickly turns around and begins to walk in the opposite direction.
I've had enough of this conversation. It's been fun, but
You're going to visit him right now, aren't you? He staggers a bit with his footsteps and turns around while still walking.
No. I'm actually just...
You love him, don't you? Lyle then stops in his tracks completely. After all he's done. He stands there with his mouth agape, clearly thinking about to respond. He just enjoys this way people have to tread on glass while speaking with him. One little slip up, and they're putty in his hands. Finally he speaks.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, but you do. I can see it in those big eyes of yours. Argier steps forward with his hands behind his back, leaning in a bit. Are you sure he's not just leading you on? If I recall, it's happened before in the past.
Huh?
Lyle visibly clenches his fist.
That was different.
Adrius crosses his arms over his chest and nods. Yes, of course. Only you would know.
There is different.
Ah, so you do love him. Lyle turns to walk away.
Really, I must be.
Tell me, did you fall head over heels for him before or after he fucked you? Jesus Christ.
Shut up, Agnes!
Adrius doesn't move from his spot, but the two guards behind him flinch a little as Lyle lets his emotions get the better of him. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. For your sake. Realize, oops, I completely skipped a word. Great, fantastic. Lyle realizes what he just did and backs down, his tail tucked between his legs.
I'm sorry, I...
Don't apologize, you fool. I'm going to make one thing perfectly clear. Do you understand?
Yes,
You're not to visit him with him anymore.
I'm sorry.
Richter, I don't want you seeing him. Can't have your emotions interfering with this trial. You need to understand what's at stake here, Lyle.
I understand what's at stake here. You need to understand that something crazy is going on. You didn't kill Reinar, and whoever did is probably still lurking around. And they might be out for your head.
Adrius holds up a hand, not wanting to hear any more of this nonsense. That may be so, but this is the safest option right now. I'm giving you an order, Lyle. If I catch you in that dungeon again, I'll have you punished. With that, Lyle backs away with a solemn expression on his face. Still is limp between his legs.
As you wish.
He turns and sulks away. Good dog.
Oh my god.
I'm going to stab you.
I'll tell him you said hi. Adrius throws his cape to the side and turns in the other direction. Come. The guards behind him quickly turn and follow him, trying to keep up with his fast pace as he walks down the corridor. Argius isn't even mad at Lyle. Lyle's loyalties to this kingdom are far too strong for him to break faith, but he can't let his emotions influence this trial. Standing the staircase, he reaches the bottom and turns around the corner. More stairs lead him down into the depths of the castle. It becomes increasingly more chilly with each step he takes. The floor is damp and cold, along with the walls. Finally, they reach the bottom, a long hallway with cells lining the left side. It smells like spring water. There's a guard posted at the entrance. His eyes are tired and his body is slumped against the wall. He sees Adrius and instantly straightens up. Stay! The guards behind Adrius stand by the door to the stairwell as he continues through the tunnel. He always hated it down here. He came down here once to play as a child and let his imagination get the better of him. For the next couple of years, he was deathly afraid of these dungeons. Playing the gardens which was much more preferable. His mother enjoyed chasing him through the bushes and would even help him climb trees. She always had a few gowns that were covered in grass stains. Eventually, those just became her gardening clothes. Why is he remembering this now? He's been unintentionally thinking of childhood memories a lot lately. Given the current events, it would make sense that they constantly try to breach the walls of his mind. He can't let those memories get to him, though. Not now. For what it's worth, he doesn't have a single worry when it comes to ruling. Whatever happens will happen. But as long as it's within his control, he'll prevail. He has to. As long as he keeps pushing through, no matter the struggle, he'll reach that goal. Hall stretches on into a dim horizon, almost bending. Each cell he passes, he looks inside to try and spot him, and with each empty cell, he grows more and more concerned that he somehow escaped. That would be impossible, and stupid. After a few minutes, he reaches the last cell and looks inside. At first, he half expected it to be empty, but this was not the case. Hi, Richter! There he is. His are sitting there on the dirty floor, slouching with his back against the wall. His eyes are distant and far away as he stares off into empty space. It's almost like he's looking at nothing. It's only been a few days. He can't have gone insane already. Along with all this, he isn't decently dressed. All he's wearing right now is his undershirt, trousers, and a pair of socks. Already lost it, have we? Upon hearing his voice, Richter turns and looks at Adrius. His eyes are sullen and his face lacks almost all emotion. His pupils are a deep shade of purple, which causes Adrius a moment of confusion. He shrugs it off, having never paid attention to his eye color before. Wonders if that's normal for humans. Not yet. He shifts his legs slightly, adjusting himself. I imagine that upsets you? Not really. Doesn't make me feel anything. Just knowing you're down here is the only reassurance I need. Well, it's been fun talking with you then. Nice crown. He goes back to staring at the floor. Adrius is finding it harder and harder to keep his cool. His anger has reached its boiling point. If you think I'm going to be dismissed by someone sitting in a cell, then you truly have gone mad. Richter sighs, drumming his fingers on his leg. I know why you came down here. You're looking in the wrong place, though. I didn't do it. Of course you didn't. Says this in a sarcastic tone. Richter, I don't come all the way down here to debate whether you did it or not. I don't need to. Then why did you come down here? What more do you want from me? What more can you do for me? Do to me? Nothing, really. Only justice can get me what I want. Your nobility, as fake as it is, grants you a bit of safety down here. Not to mention, if we don't go about this right, it could start a war. Punishing you before the trial would cause problems. But you already know that. I just wanted to make sure you're suffering. Richter smirks for just a second before bringing his face back to its original expression. He says something under his breath. No, I don't think I can say that. What was that? Nothing. Just talking to myself. Okay. Oh! I should mention this before I forget. Your manservant won't be seeing you anymore. Richter looks up. His attention is being pulled in Audrey's direction, as if it were tugged on her rope. What? Yes, I've forbidden him from coming down to comfort you during your stay here. Richter glares at him with a look of confusion. Manservant? Comfort me? What are you talking about? There's no need to hide it. Everyone knows about your scandalous relationship. Richter lets out a little sigh of defeat. That's not surprising. I can't say I didn't see this coming. Honestly, I understand wanting to make as many friends as possible as a foreign political figure, but don't you think this is taking it a little bit too far? I just whispers this at him in a mocking tone, and Richter slumps more into the wall. Ha ha. Shut up. At first, Todris is taken aback by his miniature outburst, but he quickly regains control. That's no way to talk to a king, is it? Then again, you wouldn't know much about showing respect to kings. Says the one who constantly disrespected his father at every turn. Edgar shrugs this comment off, knowing it isn't true. Apologies, but yes! I am fine. He runs his hand along one of the cell bars, staring daggers at Richter. You think we're the same, don't you? What? You believe that we are similar, comparable. No, we're very different. The difference between the two of us is simple, but I'll dumb it down for you. Get on with it. You've played chess, right? I assume you do. It's a common strategic game in airing. If you're going to make a chess analogy in front of me, it better be good. Who am I kidding? Even if it's bad, I'll still get amusement out of it. Quiet! As I was saying, the difference between the two of us is that you see this as a game. To you, it's all a board of pieces to be moved, altered, and shifted. Pawns to be played, such as our dear friend Lyre. Bestie, no. If he's gonna be a chess piece, he's the queen. Lyle's a knight. Well... yeah, that too. You know, the horsey piece. And kings to be checked. Audrey interrupts him to continue his comparison. For you, the game can be shelved. You and the fools that get to follow you with tails wagging can walk away from all of this. And even if you lose, he gestures to the cell Richter is currently sitting in. It won't matter in the end. It won't be remembered. You won't be remembered. Richter stares into his eyes with curiosity. I never had that option. If I lose, if my piece on the board is checked, then I will be forever remembered for it. If I fail, nobody will forget it. Audrey expects a way to leave and looks at Richter. I hope you take solace in that. Audrey turns on his hoof and strides away, for it can be out of earshot However, Richter approaches the door and retorts. And what if I was never even your opponent? Audrey turns back around in the direction of the cell. Then the game is truly lost. With that, he continues down the long tunnel. Once he reaches the beginning, he turns to the guard standing at the entrance. There will be no further visits from Sir Reed. This is an order that needs to be relayed to the rest of the guards stationed down here. Am I clear? The guard salutes in response. Good. Audrey turns to the guards standing by the stairs. Walks past them, snapping his fingers. The guards follow behind him, their clattering armor echoing throughout the tunnel, until all that's left is silence. And that's where the episode is going to end! That's only 24 minutes. But I don't want to go through Richter's section yet.
That's okay, I want to go draw.
Alright, fine. Damn. Alright. Well, I guess with that, I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, like, comment, and subscribe to any of those things in any of that order. I don't really mind. And if the content on my channel wasn't enough to satisfy you, then maybe go over to Pikamain's channel.
where we also do some VN stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired. Sorry.
That's fair. Well, with that out of the way, even if you're only here for this episode, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.